There's a small part of 4.6 that I forgot to do in the original video, so I'm going to tag that on here. And this is dividing complex numbers. So what we're going to want to do here is very similar to what we did when we were rationalizing the denominator. So we want to get any imaginary numbers out of the denominator of the fraction. So things just get really messy when we have imaginary numbers in the denominator of a fraction. So we're going to multiply by the conjugate again to get rid of that. So it's very similar to multiplying by the conjugate in 4.5 when we were rationalizing the denominator. So take the conjugate of the bottom, which is the exact same thing as what's written there, except instead of having a plus between the numbers, we have a minus between the numbers. And if we multiply by that, that will clear out all the imaginary numbers from the bottom of the fraction. So we're going to have negative 3 minus 4i rather than negative 3 plus 4i. And if we multiply that out, it will get rid of the imaginary numbers in the bottom of the fraction. Remember that these are binomials, and so we need to FOIL to multiply them. So on the bottom, negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. Negative 3 times negative 4i is positive 12i. 4i times negative 3 is negative 12i. And then 4i times negative 4i is negative 16i squared. That's on the bottom of the fraction. Let's simplify this a little bit further. So 9, and there looks at this point like there's no other like terms here, but there actually is. We'll get to that in a minute. But first, let's cancel this out. So positive 12i, negative 12i, those will go away. Now, if we look at this here, this is I squared. So remember that I squared is equal to negative 1. And so if we have negative 16 times I squared, that's really negative 16 times negative 1. So that's really 9 plus 16, which is 25. And so on the bottom of the fraction, we get 25. All right, let's go back to the top of the fraction and multiply this out. 5 times negative 3 is negative 15. 5 times negative 4i is negative 20i. And 2i times negative 3 is negative 6i. 2i times negative 4i is negative 8i squared. Okay, so remember here that I squared is negative 1, so this is really negative 8 times negative 1, so we could really think of that as a plus 8. So then if we do negative 15 plus 8, that's negative 7. And then we can combine like terms here. Negative 20i and negative 6i, that's negative 26i. So we get negative 7 minus 26i on the top of the fraction and 25 on the bottom of the fraction.